Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share a color palette from this piece that I have done for Patreon. The full art process is available on my Patreon, Aliona Creates, and I haven't decided yet, but I might be putting this one up for sale on my online shop, alionacreates.com. In any case, all of my latest kind of artwork will be viewable there if you're interested. So let's start with the wet art supplies. I have used Dalla Arani Payne's Grey over Indigo. Indigo was a little bit too warm for me, and I went over with Payne's Grey. So you kind of will see those colors shine through in a different way throughout all of these segments. And then also from wet kind of art supply, I have used Ecoline liquid watercolor, and this is their gold. It's more of a champagne gold. And let's just show you a bit of this blue. And then Payne's Grey. The gold looks better when it's sort of laid smoothly. It's not a too pigmented type of a product, but it's lovely to add with small brushes as a detail. So here at the top I have used the Ecoline gold. And then at the bottom I have another gold, which is a Uniposca gold here. So let's move on to the markers. This is, by the way, a series that I will use as a kind of replacement for the favorites. Essentially it is a favorites because those are the colors that I have used in the artwork, so I think it's great to show you not just the colors that I like by the look, but also specifically colors that have been used in the artwork during that particular month. And then the other two colors that I have used from the acrylic markers is Molotov, Blue Violet Pastel. And then I've used both tips of this color here, which is the Poison Green. It's kind of my favorite chartreuse, and the tips that I have in this marker, typically I've got all of these which are 2mm or 1.5. This one here is a 1.5 and 4mm. And then I also have the two in the same color, Poison Green. So they make perfect 3 different nib sizes. So the big one is great to fill in larger areas faster. It's also great for dots as well. And the dots would look like this, chunky dots. And then we also have the 1.5, which is great for kind of these more detailed type of dots. Like that. So you can see I have a nice range here of the same color, and those have been used here and here. So the finer dot went onto this stripe, which almost kind of made it look greener because you are adding chartreuse over blue, so the two colors kind of blend and your eyes perceive it as a more of a greener stripe. And then let's move on to the pencils. I've got Teddy here, he's on the windowsill, but he might want to jump off. We've got ash blue from the Derwent drawing pencils, which I have added here on this white stripe right in the middle. And these are great pencils. They keep their point really well, although they're super smooth and buttery. Basically, I started with a sharpened tip and I went all the way from here to the other side with that one sharpening. I didn't sharpen the pencil in between, and you can see how the line kind of goes slightly wider, but look how many lines I achieved with that one sharpening, and it's a long, fairly long area, so that did really well. And this is just continuing from that nib, so it's going wider obviously. But if I turned it onto the kind of thin area, you can see how lovely and fine it is here. And then for my fine liner, I used the Micron Pigma 05, and that was to connect all of those stripes. And this is not the finest type of a nib that I usually use, and it's great for kind of detail, but generally for my finer lines I use the 005 or 01 typically, and then this is also a good one. Okay, so here it is, very kind of limited as you can see. And one thing I'd say about color is that it seems to really reflect someone's kind of mood and, you know, how they feel, what kind of energy levels they are in. Because for me, this is very dark. And if you look at the other color palettes on Patreon so far in September, October, coming into the autumn, here we go. It's always been very colorful, but that particular session when I sat down, I actually was really, really tired. Just from the fact I was doing loads and loads of swatches, I decided to start this really long and intense project, which is basically swatching all of my colored Derwent pencils. And that is going to be a major project. I think it's over 500 pencils or something like that. So basically, I was feeling a little bit tired. Yes, my baby. I think he wants out. Let me just let him out. I think I was just feeling a bit tired, and there was loads going on besides the swatching as well that week. So that color palette really represents how I was feeling quite perfectly. So I'm just going to write down the names of these art supplies, show you a little close-up, and I might show you a little sneak peek of those swatches so far. So here they are, all the swatches. You can see this gold is a lot more yellow, kind of more true gold, and this one is a lovely kind of champagne gold. Also, by the way, if this video comes out before the 19th, just know that today is actually 16th and I mistakenly selected number 9 by looking upside down like so. So it's the 16th. Okay, just showing you a couple. This is what we are going to be looking at when I'm completely finished. This is the Chroma Flow, and I have swatched all 150 here. And basically what I am doing is I'm going through all of my Derwent pencils, because some of you lovely viewers have been requesting kind of a comparison, and because the colors throughout the ranges, for example, Color Soft, Drawing, Chroma Flow, then there is also the Light Fast, not to mention their Inktense pencils, and I think I might also do the watercolors just because I have all of those pencils. They have some colors like Strawberry, one of my top favorite colors, which changes slightly according to the range. And I think if you are a color fanatic like I am, you will absolutely adore having that strawberry in kind of few different versions, or you may think I prefer that version versus the other one. Also, if you have already a full set of Derwent pencils and you are perhaps considering buying some colors as open stock because the Derwent Drawing 72 just came out, then you can also kind of have a look in comparison to other colors and see which colors you want to buy separately, and that way also experience some of the new colors from the 48 new colors that were added to the Derwent Drawing Original 24. And so I will be literally color comparing them. These have not been titled yet. Once I title them, we will compare them in terms of their textures as well, whether they have a sheen, their finish. You can see how different Coloursoft from Drawing look, for example, and also, you know, Chroma Flow. They layer differently, they have a different kind of look to them. So also, of course, the color tone. So we will be comparing all of those literally side by side, a nice long video of comparing all of those swatches, and really I think it will be so useful to see them. Also to have them in my studio, because at this point when I have such a big range and number of colored pencils, oftentimes I don't exactly know, like I know I need this color, but which range would it be? You know, opening up all of those tints, layering them out in my studio on the floor is just so much work. So having this, literally I'll be able to flick through quickly to the exact right tone of a yellow, pink, red, orange, you name it, and then know which range it is, go to that range, pick up that pencil, boom, done. So I hope that will also help you, and that is one of the big things that's coming very soon, so stay tuned. And until then, I hope you don't forget to comment, like and share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, to support it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.